Ready? So what I'm going to try to do today is I'm going to try to answer some questions that I've been asked and I've been answering at our community meetings, but I know that not all of you can make it to a community meeting, so hopefully you'll be able to see the video. One of the questions that's been asked is, what do we do when our elementary kids move into middle school and high school? Well, one of the things that we're going to be doing is we are planning as a board of what to do when the kids in this new elementary school do move into the middle school and into the high school. At this time, we've tried to arrange it so that we are paying for classroom space when we actually need it. We are to the point where we actually need an elementary school at this time because we do have trailer portable classrooms. We're probably going to be adding more trailer portable classrooms over the next 2 to 4 years, depending on whether or not we are able to build the new elementary school. If we're able to build a new elementary school, it also coincides with when we're paying off the Maple Creek Middle School debt. That has went into the planning so that when we build new elementary space, we are paying off an old debt and we are able to keep the tax rate the same or lower by doing that. That same planning is going into what happens when these kids get older and they go into the middle school and the high school. We're about 4 to 8 years away from needing new middle school space. It all depends on how quickly the new lots sell. It depends on whether or not we have jobs and whether or not we go through a recession as to whether or not that timeline is at the 4-year rate or if it's at the 8-year rate. But somewhere in that 4 to 8 year window, we are probably going to need new middle school classroom space. Our board has made a commitment that we are not going to pay for that space and construct it until it is needed. In a perfect world, we'll be able to align that particular need for middle school space at the same time that we pay off the Carroll Middle School bonds. The Carroll Middle School bonds are paid off in 2024, and what we are hopeful is that we can make it to 2024 before we open up new middle school space so that we can have the same effect that we have now, which is to pay off a bond before we bring on a new bond. By doing that, we are lessening the impact on the taxpayer. In a perfect world, it'll make it the same or lower as our rate. But we won't know that because in 2024 or 2022 or 2026 or whenever it is we build middle school space, we don't know what the cost of that construction will be. If we had a crystal ball, we'd be able to tell you. But what we do know is that we are planning for it, we are trying to prepare for it, and we're trying to do so in a way that arranges it so that we really need the classroom space and we time it with the paying off of another debt. When it comes to the high school space, the amount of space that we have in the 10 to 12 building is actually going to be able to sustain ourselves into the 2030s, at least based on our current demographic projections. Obviously, if there are changes in jobs or a recession, that changes the timeline. But as of right now, it looks like the 2030s. The freshman center, on the other hand, is a different story. We are going to need more classroom space at the freshman center, probably somewhere between 2025 and about 2028. Again, we don't know until we have our crystal ball. We know how fast the lots are going to sell. But again, we're going to try to plan that out so it is coinciding with the paying off of the Cedar Canyon bonds and the bonds used to renovate and expand the high school back about 10 or 12 years ago. So that is what we're going to try to do. That is the planning that's going into it. If the rate of growth increases and it comes faster, we may not hit all of our plans, but at least we'll be able to lessen the total impact on the taxpayer because we are getting ready to pay off bonds. If we have a recession and it slows down, then it just increases the likelihood that we need to wait and be patient before we build new classroom space. We don't know what the crystal ball is going to hold for us. We're going to learn the future together, but what we do know is that we are taking steps today to try to plan for that future growth so that we minimize the impact on the taxpayer. Hopefully this was helpful for you in learning about the planning being done for our future. Thank you for watching this and have a great day.